hard to get. You get these businesses that become their hobby. Always want to have a store. So you lease the space and try to run it yourself. Half the time it's closed. You don't have employees. You just. So that you just got to get that right mix of tenants who really, really want to bring it to that vibrant level. And you need to get a good owner. This is an absentee owner who lives in Fremont. He picked it up. The market was down, and he collects rents. And since he's really got 2 churches here, those old brick buildings, it could be like a real catchy little. It could have food in here. There's a lot of opportunities. You walk up to the top of the stairs and look at the woodwork that's in here. 12 shops upstairs.
Like an Arabic restaurant or something like
right.
that. People walking around.
Yeah. Okay. Lena, I think you had said something earlier about you can have too much retail or try to do too much retail, and then it's you don't have the intensity, you don't have those nodes where it works.
Right.
It's a diluted thing, a lot of things that aren't working, and then all the problems that we've been talking about associated with that, and kind of going backwards.
Right. Yeah. So you have this situation where you got the daytime workers, and then that leave on weekends. So that's why you got to connect with the surrounding residents. So when the daytime workers are gone, you're still serving that population. That population needs the city. There's nothing here for them. Someone got to know that you can do both.
You have to do both.
You got to do both.
Yeah.
You have to.
Not really even an option.
Yeah, that's true.
One, if there's any key issues that we feel like we missed, share that issue with us. And then 2, if there was one thing that you would especially like the students to focus on as far as a priority. And I'm thinking an issue priority. I'm not thinking about a project per se. But if there's one issue that you want them to pay particular attention to, what would it be? Okay?
One of the key issues and challenges that we continue to have is perception of Richmond. And that's something that we're all working on, but I think as people actually visit the area, they get a different experience. So, what can we do to really get more people to actually come down and experience Richmond and the downtown area for themselves? Some of the things that we have tried to do in terms of marketing and outreach are the events and things that we do. So, what other types of events might, we think about doing that would be a draw to get people to come down and experience the downtown area. And then just, thinking about those empty lots and the gaps that we have there, what potentially could be there. That would be something that would draw people.
Filling in the missing teeth so there's a great big smile.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
In terms of what East Bay Center is concerned about, we're concerned that when a lot of the housing goes in, that there really is a good mix of retail, restaurants, and cafes, because people always talk about having a nightlife here.
Yes.
Now for us it's a challenge. We do have classes from Monday through Friday that last until 9 o'clock, and that's our mission. That's a mission-driven, place-based organization we built. But for other time, but we have concerts, we have our own internal, or the public's always invited, but things on, for instance, Saturday evenings. And unless you want to eat at the Hacienda or go over into the attractive shopping plaza across the way to go to and pick up pizza, which you maybe, if you have a family, have done 3 times that week, there's no place for grandma and grandpa, for all the aunties that are coming. There's no place. People wait in their cars for their students to take their classes. I don't know if our parents will spend enough on coffee to keep one place open, but in terms of adding amenities, the parking lot closes at 8 o'clock. So, if this program isn't done until 9, that means everybody had to scramble for street parking. So we need the kinds of things that if you really want some kind of an entertainment district that are going to support that. And right now, they're not here. It's much, certainly, we've been here 40 years, or 38, in that location. So certainly things are better.
Downtown, is a great opportunity, and it needs to kind of reinvent itself in terms of what its retail focus
Yes.
is going to be.
That's exactly right.
And then, then you go back to the evening. I suspect that there's enormous talent in Richmond
Enormous.
that somehow, if the opportunity was compelling enough, you could probably attract some of that talent downtown. Then the other thing I just want to note is that Berkeley's downtown also hit some really hard times, and that downtown was rebuilt fundamentally in two respects. They attracted cultural uses, Berkeley Repertory Theater and a few others and all, and boy, it'd be great to have a few more that would build on what you're doing. And then housing. And then housing. And downtowns across the country are having to re-envision what they're all about, and those are often the leading two sort of things to look at.
You do need some neighborhood serving retail. Some, not the big box. I mean, Berkeley did reinvent itself, but it brought back big box.
Right.
Along Shattuck and along 4th Street. So it just didn't work with just the mom and pop.
Right.
People need to realize that. Berkeley didn't happen. So you got to have some neighborhood serving retail, and again some family style restaurants. I think that's what we heard when we did our visioning down here. Was people like, when we leave church on Sunday, we want to sit down and have lunch, dinner with our families.
Right.
There's no place to do
Right.
that. So neighborhood serving retail. I think the barbershop is good, and old school shoe repair shops, and we got a hospital here. We don't have a flower shop down here. It's a coffee, basic. Good coffee and tea. And in the defense of it all, I mean, I think we were marching down that road, and then the recession hit. We literally cleared that land and demolished 2 blocks of buildings, and then the recession hit.
Timing was really bad.
It was just timing was really bad, but I think those same opportunities, the developer that was there had already picked his retail. He had LA Fitness, juice bar, and coffee. I think we're looking at Seattle Best. So it was he had already gave us a sketch of who we were talking to.
Yeah.
So I think we just get it built or come.
Right.
But we do need some neighborhood serving retail, and we do need to really. And I agree that culture is big. I think I was talking to someone, they thought, just build on your strengths. If you got that diverse community, if you got if 60% of your population is African American and Latino, then what do they want to do at night?
Right.
What dance, what music, what open mic,
Well, some of the ways that we are going to, address that is through this project that we have proposed and have received.
You gotta go.
Well, will receive funding from Chevron through their economic revitalization initiative, and it's called the Co-Biz. It's going to be a co-working business incubator with open space for arts and entertainment. So we plan within the building, which is just next to this building, the Wells Fargo building, to take over the ground floor and the mezzanine level to renovate that space.
To do a good co-work space. Cool.
We, again, are working with Chevron with funding for up to $1 million for the next 3 years to develop this project. So there is some information in the information that I gave you about this project that we have proposed, and
it's a partnership with Renaissance.
it is a partnership with Renaissance
Business incubation
Occupation.
for a long time.
So
And
Jan-
it will be a coffee place. I just want to make that
Yes.
clear.
Coffee.
So Jana, you touched on a bunch of several really important issues in your recap. Just was there one issue that really rises above, one or two that you just want to just very briefly, staccato style, remind the students about?
I think maybe some visioning around how we can start immediately doing pop-ups that actually we'll bring the people downtown for evening entertainment. You know, I think that would be something that we can. How do we do that? How do we do that well?
I think for me, it would just be, appreciate, Matt's comments, sort of think short-term, long-term. So what's sort of the low-hanging fruit? What can we do now with little capital, a lot of passion and a lot of, people and community support, nonprofits in the area. So what can kind of happen in the short term? And then, the longer term, the capital to build a building, to build out a tenant space, all that, as you can tell, costs money and resources are limited. But, so I would just say, think of some short-term strategies that can be implemented. And I think that's sort of your mission, is to identify what that place looks like, what it's feeling, what's its sense of community, what's its culture, and so, I think placemaking is another very important component to redevelopment, revitalization.
This is where everybody came when Richmond went from 20,000 people to 100,000 people in a
Almost
year
overnight
for the shipyard. So McDonald Avenue was this amazing, vibrant space. The East Bay Center, where Charlene is now, was a dance hall. It had like 6 movie theaters, and so once upon a time, it was the place. And then after the war, you started to see the decline, and the biggest decline happened during urban flight, white flight, during the 70s and 80s, and then Prop 13 came and gutted a lot of city services ability to keep things. So it's just been like the tumbleweed just kept getting bigger, right? And then you had the 80s, the crack epidemic, and everybody decided downtowns weren't cool anymore because they wanted to be in a huge, gigantic shopping mall. So then came Hilltop. And so the stores that are at Hilltop were downtown. Macy's, JCPenney's, all of those. Woolworth Counters. When I moved to California in 1978, and I worked in retail. And my first job was at 8th and McDonald. I worked in a women's dress shop. And it was like at the end of it, literally the day I got here, people were asking me, are you registered to vote? Because Prop 13, it was June 6, 1978. I never forget the day of the vote. And I didn't understand what it meant because I came from Arkansas. What? Just didn't make sense. But, so yes, it was the Richmond, McDonald Avenue was the center of commerce for the region, pretty much. People came from, we talk to people all the time who came from Oakland, other places to Richmond to shop. It was just all done really wrong. Because when they built 80 freeway, it bypassed McDonald Avenue and they took everybody off McDonald Avenue. Yeah. So it's just been a big tumbleweed. Yeah. But we're here now, and we got another wonderful opportunity, which I think is a greater opportunity because it's become walkable, it's sustainable and green and health conscious, and so I think that is going to be the sustainable model versus driving in your car to get to something on the freeway. And you can, get, literally from downtown, you can walk to BART and get your little pull back to the airport, I always say, and go anywhere in the world.